Video games are an increasingly important part of this region's economy, with half of all the UK's games being made here.
And of course, any parents with teenage children will be well aware that sales peak in the run-up to Christmas. While our science correspondent David Gregory-Kumar is in Leamington Spa for us now. David, the company you're at is right at the forefront of this particular industry, isn't it?
It is indeed, Mary. We're going to be showing you a series of companies in a series of reports this week on the industry here in the Midlands. And right through from big companies like this one, Playground Games in Leamington Spa, right through to, well, single-man bands putting out games from their front living rooms. But tonight, as you said, it's the run-up to Christmas. It's all about the big Blockbuster games, and that's what they make here.
This is Forza Horizon. It's what's known in the industry as a AAA title, a blockbuster, a multi-million-pound game hitting the shelves just before Christmas. But it's also a massive and surprising achievement.
Time for an analogy. Imagine if Jaguar decided to launch a brand new car, but decided not to design or build it themselves. Instead, they gave the job to a brand new startup company. Well, that's exactly what happened here in Leamington Spa.
All right, Playground Games create virtual cars, not real ones, but otherwise it's a new company whose first project is a multi-million-pound sequel to a well-known video game brand. It's been quite a ride for the young firm.
You know, we were having new people come in every week, or 2 people, 3 people a week, and so it was quite exciting to see the studio grow and sort of get everyone. And because we were all new, most of us were all new to Leamington Spa as well, and so it made it easier to sort of form up, because it wasn't just one person joining an already established group of people.
It means there's opportunity here now for people. You know, game development, it can be quite difficult finding an ambitious firm. If you're talented and you know what you want, it's quite hard to find someone who's making the games that you want to be part of, who has the same kind of ambition as you. But having Playground in the Midlands gives anyone around here and anyone who wants to come to the Midlands that kind of opportunity.
Their game is selling well, they're creating extra content to be downloaded for it, and they're looking towards their next AAA blockbuster. But as with any new company, it could all have been very different.
I think there were times before we finally alighted on this project with Microsoft, when we were offered things that we could have gone and done. They could have been the easy option. I'm really glad in retrospect that we didn't do that. You know, we stuck to our guns and stayed true to this vision of being genuinely AAA. And that has totally worked out for us. It could have gone the other way and I wouldn't be here speaking to you today.
But it did work out, and now we have a successful new game studio and over 80 new jobs.
So, David, clearly quite a success story, but what's really behind it? Good business brains or perhaps a little bit of luck?
Well, I think with any business you do need a little bit of luck, Mary, but as Ralph was saying, you know, if you're passionate enough, you're driven enough, you believe what you want to do, then you will succeed. I mean, remember, he said they were offered several different projects that didn't quite fit with what this company was set up to try and achieve, and they stuck to their guns, and the end result is doing very well in the stores. Now, we're also going to be looking tomorrow at companies with the same kind of ethos that have been set up to try and do something the best they can, and they're looking at games for tablet computers and smartphones. This is a whole new angle on the industry. And one of the things they're trying to do is work out how to make money at these types of games. And we'll be talking to another new studio that's been set up by Sega and that's been tasked with taking their venerable 20-year-old mascot, Sonic the Hedgehog, from consoles and onto tablet computers like this. OK,
so from what you're saying, video games clearly a growth area. How much more room for expansion is there, though? What sort of games could we be seeing in the future?
Well, it's quite tricky, Mary, at the moment, I have to say. We've had a good few boom years, as you say, but now we're at a point where we're starting to see, well, everything's really in flux. We've got new consoles coming from Nintendo, Sony and Microsoft. And as I said, this sort of thing is eating up market share as well. There's a lot of choices for companies to have to make. And then in the new year, we're going to see tax breaks for the first time for video game makers. And that's going to be very interesting because they'll have to produce games that are essentially British. You'll get points for the more British the game is. And that's all going to kick off in April, and we're going to see how that turns out later on next year. But tomorrow, it's all about tablet computers. Back to you in the studio.
Look forward to hearing more about that. David, many thanks.